we have Sensei Tim, which is an 8th degree black belt, and he was an inductee in 2012 for the Isshinryu Hall of Fame, and was also the Master Instructor of the Year. Most importantly, he's my sensei. So this is Kit Kats, are matcha latte flavored from Japan.
Want to try them together?
Yeah, alright.
You go first in case they're poison. And green. Wow.
I like it.
Tastes like the regular Kit Kat to me. Maybe a little mint flavor. I'm not sure.
That tastes a lot of mint.
Can you taste mint?
That one.
No.
Tastes like a milk and chocolate.
Yeah, it's kind of a crunchy chocolate. It tastes like a Kit Kat, but there is a little difference. Maybe it's because of the green outside. I'm not sure. Good though. Very good.
How is Isshinryu different from other styles of karate?
There's several things that make it a lot different from practically all the other styles. And the fact that we block with the muscle, not the bone. We retract our punches. Our fist is formed and executed in most training as a vertical punch with a thumb on top, which is technically the trademark of Isshinryu. There are some of the old Chinese movies where they do the vertical fist, they call a long fist, with the thumb on the side as a traditional twist punch. But our thumb is placed on top, and it adds a little extra strength to the wrist. The tendons actually help strengthen the wrist a little bit more. And it's not superior to any other style, but what makes one style different from another is their philosophy or their techniques, or not just kata, but the underlying foundation of that particular style that separates it or makes it different from some other style. You just can't take Isshinryu and say this is Isshinryu North Carolina, this is Isshinryu whatever. So there's distinguishing traits, and that's three of the major ones is the retracting punches, blocking with the bones and muscles, not the bones, and then the vertical fist with the thumb on top. Several other.
So what does the father and mother style like Isshinryu and Goju, how do they affect Isshinryu?
Isshinryu and Goju was our practice, and I think that I've just recently learned myself that the Isshinryu is the Japanese pronunciation of a Sukuna Hayashiru system that eventually morphed into what we know as Isshinryu. But the Isshinryu is the Japanese pronunciation. But those the Isshinryu came from the Shurite village, or Shuri village, and was known as Shurite. And the Gojuryu's roots were in the Naha city, Naha, and became known as Nahate, te meaning hand. So you had the Shuri hand and the Naha hand techniques, and the Naha eventually branched off into 3 systems, and the Isshinryu, or the Shurite, branched off into 3 systems of itself too. So they're 2 of the major styles on Okinawa even today.
We have now the Japanese rice crackers, which are soy sauce flavored. So I wonder how these are gonna taste. They smell good.
Look like hash browns. Oh.
I like them.
I don't hate them, but I don't really like them a lot. They,
I can definitely taste the soy sauce in there.
but it's probably an acquired taste. It's not horrible. They probably make a good snack watching TV or something like that.
What made you start karate?
What made me start karate?
Yes. And what are some highlights that you've had over the years?
Well, I started karate during a time when karate was not real popular like it is today. It could be found in large cities, and I grew up in the country in Mississippi. The nearest large city would have been Memphis, Tennessee, which was about 100 miles away. But I'm sure there was karate there. But the way it was marketed back then was ancient arts of the Orient and of self-defense. And it just sounded intriguing, but I didn't have an opportunity until I was in college in Cleveland, Tennessee. There was my brother-in-law told me there was a karate class starting at a nearby college. We were going to our church college, and it's about 6 miles away, and did I want to do it? And I just immediately said yes, and it turned out to be Isshin-ryu, which fit my style, and I liked it. I liked the instructor, and it was just the intriguing part of a study, finally getting to study something that I had been wanting to try. I never thought I'd have the opportunity. And I guess I was about 23 years old. Yeah, I've been 23 years old when I started.
So what are some highlights that you've had over the years for doing karate?
Well, I guess the biggest highlight that comes to mind would be the induction to the Isshin-ryu Hall of Fame in 2012. That would probably be my biggest highlight. It's quite an honor. I was nominated for different things within that same organization, like Sensei of Senseis. I was in the top 5 nominees 2 or 3 times, but obviously didn't win the award. But eventually I got the call from the president of the International Isshinryu Karate Association, Master J.C. Burris, and he informed me that I was being inducted that year. And I thought it was a joke at first, or something I never dreamed was even possible for me. And I was preceded by my instructor, Sensei Danny Glover. I think he was in 2000 or 2002, and then his instructor was a year before me, Sensei Russell Best. So I felt very honored just to be among my sensei and his sensei as far part of the inductee. But also, I guess another highlight is just seeing some of my black belts. Majority of them are not active in Isshin-ryu anymore, or even in karate, but the ones that are still active is seeing them blossom, I guess you would say, into a very good martial artist, and they still make me proud to think of where they are at now.
So next we have Japanese baked rice crackers, and they look pretty good. So I guess let's see what they taste like. They come in a little packaging.
Wow.
Almost looks like a cookie. Tastes like a rice cake.
It's got a unique taste. Almost like a pizza crust, or maybe, I'm not sure if it's garlic, but it has a little, pretty good.
I really
Probably
like
be
it.
good to dip in something,
Yeah.
if it's something like that. And you like dip, but this is pretty good. But I tend to, I'm thinking it may have a little garlic powder or something on it, but it's some kind of different taste. It's pretty good though.
How has karate changed your students' lives?
Has it changed my students' life? I guess we'd have to ask them that question. But the ones that have stuck with it more than, a year or two, I think it's given them more self-confidence in some things that they do outside karate, which is part of the character building that all martial arts should try to be instilling in their students, and that's sometimes what the belt levels are about, is you setting a personal goal and trying to reach the next level or the next grade and so forth, but that shouldn't be the consuming factor of why you want to study martial arts. Some people study it because they want a particular rank and a particular rank and a particular rank, and they're going after chasing the rank instead of chasing the knowledge or skill. If you stick with it, the knowledge and skill will come along with it in time, but just to become a black belt is not the ultimate goal, because there's so much more to learn after black belt. And now that I've been in my present rank and the ranks I've achieved since I got my black belt, I now look at my black belt as if it were a white belt, because I thought I knew a lot when I got my black belt, but compared to what I've learned since then, it's been tremendous. So to stop at black belt if I would have just been an average karate student. So I'm hoping that my students have learned something similar to that just because they reached a certain belt level, they're not as bad as they think they are, or tough.
Yeah.
But that there's a lot more out there to learn. And in fact, a lot of people have said there's one lifetime is not enough to learn all this in. And I heard that when I was young, and I'm thinking the older I get, the more I realize they're true, because you can't learn it all.
No.
You cannot. There's no way you can learn it all. So, but that's my answer. It's just, I'm hoping that my students have gotten out of it what I get out of it.
They want to focus more on the skill and learning instead of just going for the rank.
Right. So the rank is empty. It's like getting an award,
The rank should only show what you know.
Yeah, the rank, exactly. The rank should show what you know, and be an indicator of your knowledge and skill, not just. And it's something you have to work into, even as a blue belt. When you got your blue belt, that means you were minimum. But you have to work into that blue belt, and when you work into it real good, it's time to move up to another belt. But it doesn't mean you're no more than the next person or better than the next person in class. It just means that you've put in the time and the requirements to get to that point.
So next up, we got shrimp chips, which are baked. So let's see how these are. Got it. Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I taste the shrimp, but are they flavored?
Okay. Sriracha mayo.
No, it's kind of spicy. Is yours spicy?
I taste the shrimp. I can taste it. So yeah. I guess that's the sriracha in it.
Yeah.
I can definitely taste the shrimp. No. Tastes really good. Which style is the best for offense and defense, and which is, in your opinion, which is the worst in those matters?
I can tell you that Isshinryu and most of the Okinawan karate styles are close-in combat styles, or they're based around that because of the proximity of a fight is usually going to occur in a very personal space. So it's not like you're 6 feet apart when you're fighting. But I don't think this is my personal opinion, I don't think there is a better style offense and defense. I think it depends on the practitioner, whether it be Taekwondo, Isshin-ryu, Shotokan, the many different styles. I think a lot of that depends on the individual practitioner and his or her concept of self-defense, offense or defense. Yeah.
Is there anything that's like better than Isshin-ryu in your opinion? Like, is there any styles that you know that are better than Isshin-ryu?
Isshin-ryu it's like a flower in a field of flowers. There's a lot of flowers out there, and some of them are different, some of them are similar, but
they're at the end of the day, they're all still
yeah.
flowers.
If it's a legitimate, there are a lot of styles. A lot of dojos around the country and probably around the world. We see a lot of silliness, like the no-touch knockouts and the no-touch sparring, and the people are falling down when the instructor's waving their hands and acting like there's some type of force field coming out of them. Those are as fake as you can get. They're like false teeth. They're not real. There's a lot of what's known as a Mick dojo. After the McDonald's, everything is a Mick chicken sandwich or a Mick burger or whatever. So Mick dojos are known to be teaching people and promoting them with stuff that's really not real life. Every Isshin-ryu instructor that I personally know teaches with the concept that you may be attacked and you need to know the close range stuff.
And you need to learn how to take a hit from somebody.
Yeah, obviously you got to learn to take a hit, and that's where the no touch. Even in our dojo, you guys start off sparring with no sparring gear, because I want you to know what it feels like to get hit with a punch or a kick without a padding on it. But for safety reasons, in tournaments, you have to expect a little bit more. And sometimes in the dojo, we will put on sparring gear, but you won't have your sparring gear with you at school or at the park or wherever you are. I won't have it with me. So you got to know what it feels like for your foot to make contact with somebody's head or their shin. It's not padded up. You get injured a lot along the way, but you learn from it.
So here we have I don't know what this says, but it's a drink. So I guess so.
It's 100%.
100% Japanese. I'm not.
It smells like grape juice.
There's I see things in the bottle.
It's like pulp, like the pulp and stuff. I think it's grape. I think it's white, it was pictured on there. It tastes like a grape, white grape juice.
Yeah.
Got a lot of pulp in it. Some people,
Yeah.
I like orange juice with pulp, or some pulp.
I don't like.
My wife doesn't like pulp at all in her juice, but I like heavy pulp or some pulp, but I like it without it too. But it's got some chunks of pulp in there. Chunks, right? It's not just.
Not like pulp. It's like chunks.
It's a chewable drink.
Yeah. So, what bothers you about some other styles of karate? Or not karate, but martial arts?
I guess what bothers me a lot is to see not just children but also adults promoted very, very fast. And a lot of times that's for monetary reasons for that particular school. And it bothers me a lot of times to see outrageous test fees for simple belts like students and stuff. But I understand that a lot of these are commercial schools and they have to generate income somehow. And that's one way to do it. You mentioned discipline. I have high expectations, and I don't like to yell at my students, and I really rarely have to yell at the adults, but sometimes as kids I have to, especially newer students, I have to help them understand that their parents a lot of times get them in here for discipline is usually what's written on the application form. Discipline because they think it's fun, and sometimes to learn how to protect themselves, but it's almost always discipline. And then when you apply that discipline to their child, some parents accept it, some parents take their child out because they don't want their little Johnny or little Susie spoken harshly to, or hit or punched. So I'm thinking, why are you getting in karate if you're not going to allow your child to experience the pain that comes with getting hit, the crying? I mean, that's part of it, And I've even told you and your class, a lot of times I don't mind you crying when you get hurt, but I don't like you crying and continuing to try to fight because you can't see clearly. And then sometimes your emotions may get turned to anger instead of fear.
Other people worse than.
So and part of that is, if you never fall off a bike, you don't always feel like to fall off a bike and scrape your knee or scrape your hands or bump your head. But if you fall off a bike multiple times, then you're learning how not to fall. So that's the same way in here. But
So this is a Japanese snack. It says kasugi on the back. So let's see what these taste like. No, this looks different. Alright. Okay. I'm three. Very nutty.
At first I didn't like the taste, but now it's kind of
Grew on you.
like a shortcake type taste to me. Sorry, 1 minute.
tastes almost like a walnut with like.
It has a little. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not real sweet, but it's got a little sweetness to it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of American snacks are very salty or very sweet.
Yeah.
And I've learned that from a lot of people that try things like that. Americans are addicted to sugar, I think.
So, what traits do you hope for your students, even like the ones that don't stay too long, that like stay at a white belt like leave?
I would hope that they would learn respect for themselves and other people, would be one of the traits, and then also to learn their personal limitations. If we talked about it earlier, but not to think that because they're a certain color belt that they're above others who are less. So it's the same way in life. When you go out to your high school and beyond years, I want you to remember something that you learned here that was positive. And a lot of times the negative things that are negative to you at some point may become positive building blocks in the future. You might not, in other words, it's like being punished for not cleaning your room or doing something like it's not happy, you're not good while you're going through it, but later on it instills you to be a better person and to be a neat person, to be a loving person, to be a respectful person. So I think that's one trait that I would love to know, that any student in here, if they would respect themselves first and those around them secondly.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
If you want snacks like these for yourself, go to aji.com. The link will be in the description below. Peace out.